Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the iconic film Rocky IV and taking a look at how the cast has changed over the years. Get ready to be shocked because some of these actors have aged horribly since the movie's release in 1985. From the Italian stallion himself to the menacing Ivan Drago, we'll explore the transformations of the cast members. So grab your boxing gloves and join us as we uncover the Rocky full cast. Sylvester Stallone as Rocky Balboa. Robert Rocky Balboa is a fictional character and the main character of the Rocky movie series. The character was brought to life by Sylvester Stallone, who has portrayed him in 8 out of the 9 movies in the series. He is depicted as a blue-collar or impoverished Italian-American from the streets of Philadelphia who initially worked as a club boxer and enforcer for a local Philly mafia loan shark. Before 1969, he performed on stage using the name Mike Stallone. By 1970, he adopted the stage name Sylvester E. Stallone. While studying at the University of Miami, Stallone had a role in the play That Nice Boy, also known as The Square Root, filmed in 1968. Additionally, he collaborated with John Hertzfeld in 1969 on a low-budget self-produced movie titled Horses. Stallone maintained a close relationship with his brother Frank, who contributed the theme songs to Rambo, First Blood Part 2, and Staying Alive. In 1983, Frank's song Far From Over for Staying Alive became a top 10 hit in the U.S. Frank appeared in minor roles, cameos, and provided music in numerous films starring Sylvester, particularly in the Rocky movies, where he portrayed a street musician and contributed songs. Stallone's half-sister, Toni Ann Felitti, passed away from lung cancer on August 26, 2012, at the age of 48. Stallone was once a close associate of Joe Spinell, but they had a falling out during the filming of their final project together, Nighthawks, in 1981, and Spinell passed away in 1989. In 2023, Stallone made a donation of $11,600 to independent Senator Kyrsten Sinema's re-election campaign in Arizona. Later that year, he and his family had a private audience with Pope Francis at the Vatican. Tony Burton as Duke. Tony Duke Evers initially served as the manager-trainer for the world champion Apollo Creed until Creed's death in the ring following his fight with Ivan Drago. He later became the manager for Creed's friend Rocky Balboa. Tony Burton portrayed the character, and he is one of just 4 characters to appear in all 6 of the original Rocky movies. Burton had a successful boxing career, winning the Flint Golden Gloves light heavyweight championship in 1955 and 1957. He also claimed the State Golden Gloves light heavyweight championship in 1957, although he was defeated in the semifinals of the Chicago Tournament of Champions. Transitioning to professional boxing in 1958 and 1959, Burton faced tough opponents, including knockout artist Lamar Clark, who holds the record for the most consecutive knockouts at 44. Following his short-lived boxing career, Burton spent over 3 years in a Chino, California, prison for robbery. After his release, he began working with small theater groups in and around Los Angeles, receiving positive reviews early in his acting career. A lifelong member of the Actors Studio, Burton's extensive credits include a co-starring role in Frank's Place and appearances in films like Stir Crazy and The Toy. He also featured as Wells, one of the trapped prisoners in John Carpenter's 1976 action film, Assault on Precinct 13. Burton lived in California for 3 decades and was an active member of Emmanuel Baptist Church in Highland, California. He was married to Aurelane, Ray, from 1980 until his passing. The couple had 2 sons, one of whom, Martin, passed away from a heart attack at age 43 on May 8, 2014. They also had 2 daughters, Juanita and Cristal. Burton experienced frequent hospitalizations during his final year, as reported by his sister. He passed away on February 25, 2016, at the age of 78, due to complications from pneumonia at a hospital in Menifee, California. Burt Young as Paulie. Paul Paulie Panino is the older sibling of Adrian and the closest companion of Rocky Balboa, later becoming his brother-in-law after Rocky's marriage to Adrian. He is among the select few characters to feature in the initial 6 films. Young received an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor for his role in the first film, alongside co-star Burgess Meredith. Young served in the United States Marine Corps from 1957 to 1959, where he frequently participated in boxing matches, achieving victory in 32 out of 34 bouts. His television credits include appearances in series such as The Rockford Files, Baretta, Law & Order, Walker, Texas Ranger, All in the Family, Mass H, and Miami Vice. He made a notable guest appearance on The Sopranos, Another Toothpick, as Bobby Bacalieri's father, a retired hitman who returns to the underworld for one last job. Young's wife, Gloria, passed away in 1974. He had a daughter and a grandson and resided in Port Washington, New York. Young was the proprietor of a restaurant in the Bronx, New York, and also participated in the 1984 New York City Marathon. He passed away at Northridge Hospital Medical Center in Los Angeles on October 8, 2023, at the age of 83. The cause of death was determined to be cardiac arrest, with contributing factors including myocardial infarction, atrial fibrillation, and atherosclerosis. Carl Weathers as Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed is a renowned heavyweight boxing champion who initially serves as Rocky Balboa's adversary before becoming his close ally. He featured prominently in the first 4 installments of the Rocky film series. Following a grueling match against Soviet boxer Ivan Drago, Apollo tragically succumbed to severe head injuries sustained during the bout. Weathers began his career as a film extra while simultaneously pursuing football. His breakthrough came with significant roles in 2 blaxploitation films directed by his longtime associate Arthur Marks, Bucktown, 1975, and Friday Foster, 1975. Additionally, Weathers made a guest appearance in an early 1975 episode of the sitcom Good Times titled The Nude, portraying a disgruntled husband who suspected his wife of infidelity with JJJ. In 2019, Weathers portrayed Greef Karga in multiple episodes of the inaugural season of the Star Wars series The Mandalorian. He continued his role in the 2nd season and also ventured into directing with the episode Chapter 12, The Siege. Weathers returned for the 3rd season and directed the episode Chapter 20, The Foundling. His performance garnered him an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Guest Actor. Weathers tied the knot with Marianne Castle in 1973, resulting in the birth of 2 sons, but the marriage ended in divorce in 1983. Subsequently, in 1984, he married Rona Unseld, although their union dissolved in 2006. Weathers entered into matrimony once more in 2007, this time with Jennifer Peterson. However, they parted ways in 2009. Weathers passed away at his residence in Los Angeles on February 2, 2024, at the age of 76, due to atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Dolph Lundgren as Ivan Drago. Ivan Drago is portrayed as an Olympic gold medalist and a boxing champion hailing from the Soviet Union, boasting an impressive amateur record of 100-0-0 wins, with all victories achieved by knockout. Standing at 1.97 meters, 6 feet 5 plus 1.2 inches, and weighing 261 pounds, 118 kilograms, Drago is meticulously trained and equipped to be the ultimate fighter, with his heart rate and punching power continually monitored by computers during his training sessions. Lundgren made his cinematic debut in the 1985 James Bond film A View to a Kill, which marked Roger Moore's final portrayal of the iconic spy character. In the movie, Lundgren portrayed the minor role of Venz, a KGB assassin. His former romantic partner, Grace Jones, who portrayed the antagonist Mayday, personally recommended him for the role. According to Lundgren, Moore once remarked, "Dolph is larger than Denmark." In 2018, the action thriller Blackwater, directed by Pasha Patricki, was released. Starring alongside Van Damme, this marked their 5th collaboration on screen and the first instance of them appearing as allies. Lundgren reprised his iconic role of Ivan Drago from Rocky IV in Creed II, the 2018 sequel to Creed. In the film, he portrayed an older, down-and-out Drago with the introduction of the character's son, Victor. Lundgren was romantically involved with Jenny Sanderson from 2011 to 2017. In June 2020, Lundgren became engaged to Emma Krokdal, a Norwegian personal trainer, despite their nearly four-decade age gap. The couple exchanged vows at their residence in Mykonos on July 13, 2023. In May 2023, Lundgren publicly revealed his battle with kidney cancer since 2015. Subsequently, in February 2024, Lundgren and his spouse, Emma Krokdal, were officially granted U.S. citizenship. Stu Nahan as commentator number 1. Stu Nahan had a minor yet crucial role in the Rocky movies as the commentator who provided the live commentary for all of the fictional boxers' championship fights. Nahan's voice was utilized for the commentary in the virtual boxing game that played a part in the comeback storyline of the title character in the 6th installment of the series, Rocky Balboa. Nahan began his career in the entertainment industry as an actor on a children's TV show, where he played the character Skipper Stu in Sacramento during the 1950s. Transitioning into sports broadcasting, he worked as a sportscaster for KCRA in Sacramento before relocating to Haddonfield, New Jersey, near Philadelphia, where he hosted his own children's program as Captain Philadelphia on the now-defunct WKBS-TV. Concurrently, he lent his voice to provide commentary for the NHL's Philadelphia Flyers at WTAF alongside Gene Hart, as well as for CBS alongside Jim Gordon. Additionally, he collaborated with Tom Brookshire to cover Philadelphia Eagles NFL games for CBS. In the late 1970s, Nahan ventured into the film industry, typically portraying a sports commentator and often appearing as himself. Apart from his involvement in the Rocky series, he made a brief cameo in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 1982, where he interviews the character Jeff Spicoli, Sean Penn, in a dream sequence. This scene was spoofed in Chuck vs. Tom Sawyer with a fictitious Stu Brewster, played by Bill Lewis. For approximately 3 decades, Nahan served as a sports anchor in the Los Angeles television market, working with KABC-TV, 1968-1977, KNBC, 1977-1986, and KTLA, 1988-1999. He also had stints with radio stations KABC, KXTA, and KFWB. Nahan contributed to the Los Angeles Dodgers pregame show until his retirement after the 2004 season. In January 2006, Nahan was diagnosed with lymphoma, which he bravely battled until his passing at his residence in Studio City, California, at the age of 81. Talia Shire as Adrian. Adrian Balboa is Rocky's romantic partner, later becoming his spouse. She is the mother of their sole child, Robert Balboa, Jr. She features in the initial 5 Rocky films. Shire, born Talia Rose Coppola, hails from the Woodhaven neighborhood of Queens, New York, born in 1946. Her paternal grandparents immigrated to the United States from Bernalda, Basilicata, while her maternal grandfather, esteemed Italian composer Francesco Panino, migrated from Naples, Italy. Shire is the lone daughter of Italia and arranger-composer Carmine Coppola. She is the sibling of filmmaker and producer Francis Ford Coppola, and of the scholar August Coppola, the aunt of performer Nicolas Cage, and of filmmaker Sofia Coppola, and the niece of composer and conductor Anton Coppola. During her youth, her family relocated to Lake Success on Long Island, New York, where she resided until completing high school. She has 3 offspring. Her son, Matthew Orlando Shire, is from her initial union with composer David Shire. Her other sons, actors, musicians Jason and Robert, are the products of her second marriage, to the cinema producer Jack Schwartzman. Shire portrayed Connie Corleone in The Godfather and its subsequent chapters, earning her an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress for her role in The Godfather Part II, 1974. Alongside reprising her role as Adrian in 4 Rocky continuations, Shire has appeared in various films such as Kiss the Bride, 2002, I Heart Huckabees, 2004, and Homo erectus, 2007. Michael Pataki as Nikolai Koloff. Nikolai Koloff serves as Ivan Drago's manager and holds a position in the Soviet Politburo. He confidently believes that Drago is unbeatable and uses his authority to promote Soviet dominance over the United States in boxing following Drago's victory over Apollo Creed. Pataki played a supporting role on the 1974-75 innovative ABC TV series Get Christy Love. Portraying Officer Pete Gallagher, Christy Love's inept yet well-intentioned partner with aspirations of becoming a technical advisor on a television police drama. Despite being the first detective series on TV with an African-American female lead, the characters of Christy and Pete rarely addressed issues of race and primarily focused on supporting each other and navigating the predicaments they often found themselves in. Pataki directed the film adaptation of Cinderella in 1977. He also collaborated on the filming of the theatrical performance of Pippin alongside David Sheehan, featuring William Catt. Pataki was also a skilled voice actor, lending his voice to the character of the Sewer King in an episode of Batman, the animated series. He provided the voice of George Liquor for the Ren and Stimpy Show production company Spoomcho until the studio was dismissed by Nickelodeon in 1992. He continued to voice the character for subsequent projects by John Kricfalusi in the years that followed, with the final one being the independently funded short Cans Without Labels, which premiered in 2019, 9 years after his passing. Pataki succumbed to cancer on April 15, 2010, at 72 years old. He had completed his recordings for George Liquor for Cans Without Labels before his demise, and the short film was dedicated to his memory. Leroy Neiman as ring announcer. Leroy Neiman portrays the ring announcer during the Creed-Drago bout. Neiman served in the U.S. Army during World War II. He toiled as a chef until the conclusion of the war, at which point his artistic talents were acknowledged and utilized for painting backdrops for Red Cross performances. Upon his return in 1946, Neiman briefly pursued studies at the St. Paul School of Art, followed by enrollment at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, thanks to the GI Bill. In 1970, Neiman provided the artwork for the Fifth Dimensions album Portrait. In 1994, Neiman was tasked with designing the illustrated emblem for the Sherman Brothers musical Busker Alley. This artwork adorned posters and was also replicated as a towering mural spanning 5 stories on the St. James Theater on Broadway, New York. In 1998, he produced all the artwork for a special sports edition of The Nation magazine, receiving the publication's standard compensation of $150. Neiman wed Janet Byrne in 1957. They resided in New York City, their primary location, for over 5 decades, until Neiman's passing. Their abode, situated within a New York City landmark, the Hotel des Artistes, atop the Café des Artistes on West 67th Street, initially intended for painters, consists of lofty rooms overlooking Central Park. Norman Rockwell once inhabited the premises, alongside luminaries such as Rudolph Valentino, Noel Coward, CNN founder Reese Schonfeld, and former mayor John Lindsay. Neiman's painting studio, administrative offices, and residence occupy one floor, while his archives occupy another, and his penthouse crowns the structure. Neiman passed away on June 20, 2012, 12 days after celebrating his 91st birthday in New York City. Brigitte Nielsen as Ludmilla. Ludmilla Vobet-Drago served as an Olympic swimmer representing the Soviet Union, currently Russia, and is depicted as Ivan Drago's spouse in Rocky IV. Alongside manager Nikolai Koloff, she serves as Ivan's assistant, extolling the force of his punches and holding unwavering belief in her husband's invincibility in a boxing match. In 1987, Nielsen portrayed Carla Fry in the motion picture Beverly Hills Cop 2, 1987, starring alongside Eddie Murphy. In 1991, she was selected for the role of Jennifer Walters' She-Hulk in a proposed but never materialized cinematic adaptation based on She-Hulk. She participated in photo shoots portraying both Jennifer Walters and her superhero persona, She-Hulk, prior to the project's cancellation. Nielsen has entered into matrimony 5 times and is the mother of 4 sons and 1 daughter. Her initial spouse was Caspar Winding, with whom she exchanged vows from 1983 to 1984. They share a son, Julian Winding, who was primarily raised by his father and had limited interaction with Nielsen. In the midst of 2008, Nielsen took part in the reality television series Aus Alt Mach Neu, broadcast by the German television network RTL. The program's focal point was Nielsen's pursuit of maintaining a youthful appearance comparable to that of her spouse through cosmetic surgery. The series aired in Italy as well, on Sky Italia in December 2008 and the subsequent summer on Italy 1. And that wraps up our journey through the cast of Rocky IV, exploring their transformations over the years. From the intense training montages to the iconic showdowns in the ring, this film has left an indelible mark on cinema history. So, what do you think? Have the actors aged horribly, or have they simply aged like fine wine? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more nostalgic journeys through cinema history.